Welcome to Northglenn Now. Today we have a special guest, Tom Rapp, the director of the Retired and Senior Volunteer Program at the Senior Hub and the facilitator of Adams Community Gardens Co-op. We have two of those community gardens in Northglenn. Tom, let's get started with the basics. What is a community garden and how does it get started?
Well, a community garden is basically, as opposed to a home garden, which is primarily just one family only, it's a whole group of people that get together in an area and garden together. Mm-hmm. And we started ours back in 2006, and we've expanded now. We have about 20 gardens in our co-op.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about the co-op. Is it official and does it have rules and regulations?
Well, it's not an official nonprofit organization, say like Denver Urban Gardens, but it's more of an association of people that are interested in gardening together and also in giving part of what we raise to the area food banks.
Okay. So are there any restrictions as far as age, or do you have to be a gardener? Those type of restrictions? You pay dues?
No, there's no really set restrictions like that. We do use a waiver form for all the gardeners. Parents can sign in place of their minor children and so on. But there are no official rules. There's no dues. It's more a matter of expressing an interest and being willing to put in the time.
Okay, so I understand there are gardens in Northglenn. Can you tell me where they are?
Okay,
and how many we have?
Sure, we have two gardens. The original garden, which was actually started back in 2003, is behind Crossroads Assisted Living on the north side of their building, and that's about Malley and a little bit west of Washington Street. Okay. And that's a smaller garden. It's about probably 1,500 square feet, counting the four raised beds that we have and then the ground level part added together. And then our large garden, the largest of the 20 in the co-op, is at Stonehawker Historic Park. And we have probably close to 7,500 square feet involved there. So
walk me through this. If I want to volunteer, who do I contact and how do I get started? And what would my expectations be? Okay,
well, the best way to get started, if you're interested, would be to contact me as the facilitator of the program. And I kind of serve as a lead gardener for both of the Northglenn gardens, but also for facilitator for the whole co-op. So if somebody's not necessarily in Northglenn or wants to garden in Thornton or somewhere else, we have other gardens as options. And if they go through me, I can put them in touch with the lead gardener person there, and then they can develop that relationship.
Okay. So how do the gardeners know what to plant and where?
Well, we've been we've been very fortunate because the CSU Master Gardener Program has been a partner with us from the very beginning, going clear back to 2006. And they have a Master Gardener Program where they train people that are interested in really finding all the details about what grows best in Colorado, how do you plant it, when do you plant it, how deep do you plant it, those kinds of things.
Right.
And those folks are available to us. In fact, we have one that attends all of our lead gardener co-op meetings once a month, which we start in March and go through October. Okay. And they're kind of our experts.
So a volunteer, if I'm a volunteer, do I have to bring my own seeds and tools? And the watering, do I have to pay for that?
Okay, well, let me start first with the seeds. We've been fortunate to get virtually all of our seeds donated.
Okay.
Okay, our initial attempt was to make sure that we made gardening inexpensive. And so by being able to come up with supplies and being able to get free seeds and seedlings, that kind of thing, that helped reduce the expense so that nobody's shut out based on that. Okay. They're willing to come out and work, they can help.
Okay.
Okay, so that, and then the cost of the water, it's usually paid for in the case of the two Northglenn gardens by that facility. So the Stonehawker Historic Commission pays for the water that's used in that garden, and the Crossroads garden is paid for by Crossroads Assisted Living.
Oh, okay. I understand there's the major portion of everything that's grown in the gardens is given to local food banks?
Pretty much so. We, especially at the Stonehawker garden, our large garden, I would guess we give somewhere between 50 and 60% of it goes to the people that use the food banks. Also, it goes to some of the folks from the Tri-County Health WIC program that also come out and help participate there. And so they could get it at a food bank, but they donate their time, some of those folks, you know, and get food, fresh produce that right there at the garden.
Okay. So if someone has never gardened before, is there a way to learn?
Oh, sure. Like I say, the master gardeners kind of train the lead gardeners, and then the lead gardeners are able to train their crew, more or less. But any individual that's interested can contact CSU Extension at any point or go to their website, and a lot of their things are right there for them.
Okay. So what do you think, why is community gardens so popular right now, and not just in Northglenn, but nationwide?
Well, it's partly the food aspect, because there's a need for that. But I think it's also the social aspect. People are fairly social animals, most of us, and we kind of like to get together. But, you know, you're scared of something that requires a lot of training. Well, gardening is pretty easy. Okay, now you can take it as deep as you want to go. But we can have people out there in our gardens from, like I told you, I think at one point at the Crossroads Garden, we had a city council person's child. She was out with the child, and that person was 3. And our oldest resident that was out there working in the garden was 93. And so we have this whole range of people, and we have every ethnicity and so on. So everybody is out there, and I kind of like to say that what we're really about is we're building community. You know, we just kind of garden to kill time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I understand you need volunteers, not only in Northglenn, but also Adams County.
Yeah, countywide, all of these different gardens can use additional help, and so if they get in touch with me, I can put them in touch with a garden that's closest to them, or where they don't mind driving just a little bit, where the help is really needed.
Does the co-op have other activities other than just community gardens?
Usually at the end of the garden season, we try and have a harvest potluck, where everybody gets together from the various gardens. We've tried to do that at Stonehawker, and it's been fairly successful. You know, at the end of the garden season, it's hard to keep everybody together, but you know, we usually have a group of folks that get together, and it's just kind of fun to celebrate our success.
Right. Well, we've learned a lot about community gardens today. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Well, yes, we had a huge donation of seeds that came in from Lowe's at the end of last garden season. They're fine for planting this year. We're going to be giving out those beginning next week at our garden co-op meeting to the lead gardeners. But I know there are hundreds of packets that are going to still be available. And so if people would like to have some of those for their home gardens, the only thing that we would ask is that they would plant a row and donate that to the food banks, the same way that we do though with our community gardens. And so if they get in touch with me, I can put them in touch with those seeds.
Great. Well, thank you, Tom, for being here today. It was good to see you, as always, and learn a little bit more about community gardens. To learn more and to volunteer with community gardens, please contact Tom at trapp@seniorhub.org or by calling 303-955-6609. And thank you for watching Northglenn Now.